I'm Macy Egland. Closing arguments expected today in the trial of the man accused of killing an FDNY paramedic from Huntington. Police say Peter Zizopoulos stabbed Allison Russo in an unprovoked attack 3 years ago. Police have not yet identified two people killed in a fiery crash on the LIE. We're told the car they were in veered off the expressway and into the woods Saturday night near exit 70 in Manorville. You can read more about Newsday's year-long investigative series looking at Long Island's dangerous roads on our website, newsday.com. We are expecting to learn more today about what caused a ship to crash into the Brooklyn Bridge. NTSB investigators will give an update this afternoon. On Saturday night, a Mexican Navy tall ship slammed into the bridge, killing 2 sailors.
There was no words for us. It was heartbreaking for everybody that was there.
Officials say the ship lost power and got trapped in the current. Only in Newsday, concern over the future of a popular Syosset Park. Nassau lawmakers approved the transfer of Stillwell Woods Preserve to the town of Oyster Bay in January, but environmentalists worry the move could leave the preserve vulnerable to developers. Classics, hot rods, and custom cars all on display this weekend. The Spring Dust-Off Car Show featured more than 1,000 vehicles in Point Lookout. Also there, celebrity guests from Fast and Loud and Overhaulin'. Let's talk about your forecast now on this Monday. A sunny start to the work week, but it's breezy and we do have some changes on the way. Let's take a look right now, though, outside. A beautiful sunrise over Windmill Bay and Beach in Sag Harbor on your Monday. Today, highs are in the 60s and 70s across Long Island, but it is windy. We could see gusts in the double digits. Tomorrow for Tuesday is the last nice day of the work week before some rain moves in. You see that on your 7-day forecast right now. Wednesday and Thursday look rainy. Friday, we've got some clouds. The Memorial Day weekend is shaping up to be sunny, though, with some mild temperatures.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
Only in Newsday, Long Island House Republicans are clashing with their own party's leadership in a battle to raise the cap on the SALT deduction. Newsday's White House correspondent Laura Figueroa Hernandez explains.
Congressman Nick LaLota and Congressman Andrew Garbarino, have been meeting with Speaker Johnson all week. There's been this proposal that was floated for there to be an increase to a $30,000 cap, but that would only apply to households with an income of $400,000 or less. So LaLota and Garbarino are arguing, $30,000 is not enough as a deduction, and even the $400,000 income limit is too much for Long Islanders. They're pushing for a higher deduction. They're pushing for a higher cap, and they're also pushing for an increase to the income threshold. The critical thing here is that House Republicans are trying to pass President Trump's big sweeping tax bill through a party line vote. So the Long Island Republicans know full well that they do have power in numbers. Speaker Johnson can only afford to lose 3 votes, and already there are 5 so-called salty Republicans who have kind of banded together to say, we're going to stop this if there isn't an increase to the SALT cap.
You can read more about the SALT cap debate on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. This week, a tunnel connecting Penn Station to Long Island will shut down for repairs. Alfonso Castillo looks at what's being done and what it means for commuters.
If you've ever sat in traffic on the Long Island Expressway, you know how much worse it gets when a lane is closed off. Now, Long Island Railroad officials are worried the same kind of jam may be coming to Penn Station.
So here's the situation. There are 4 East River tunnels shared by 3 different railroads, all connecting here at Penn Station. Long Island Railroad, Amtrak, which owns the tunnels, and New Jersey Transit. For the next 3 years, one of those tunnels is going to be out of service starting later this month as Amtrak conducts repairs to sandy damage in the tunnels. And the Long Island Railroad's concern is what happens if you lose another tunnel while one is already down, and that happens more than you might think.
We're not exaggerating, we're not being dramatic. this is what happens, and this is what we warned people about.
That was LIRR President Robert Free speaking out following the latest in a string of Amtrak-related service disruptions at Penn Station. On May 7th, a power issue inside one of the tunnels snarled the morning rush hour for the LIRR, forcing dozens of delays, cancellations, and train diversions.
I don't know how much more we can take, and it's unacceptable.
To lessen the impact of the tunnel repair project, which is set to start on May 23rd, the LIRR has been pushing Amtrak to limit the work to nights and weekends, allowing all the tunnels to stay in service during the weekday rush hours. Amtrak says that's not feasible, and that to do the job right, they need to keep the tunnels shut down around the clock. 2 of the concrete tunnels were badly damaged by floodwaters during Superstorm Sandy. Amtrak says it will take about 13 months to fix each of the tunnels, with a 3-month break in between the 2 repair jobs.
I don't really see how you could go just closing a tunnel for 3 years. I don't really see how that makes sense.
The strength need to be there, safety need to be there. So I fought for the full-time shutdown of one line.
I want to take longer if they only did nights, and so I see both sides of the story.
Now, you might be wondering why it's taken so long to fix damage in these tunnels caused by a storm 13 years ago. Well, one big reason is that both Amtrak and the MTA thought it was best to wait until the completion of Grand Central Madison, which gives the Long Island Railroad a second route onto and off of Manhattan. If they didn't have Grand Central Madison, this situation would be much, much worse. Outside of Penn Station for NewsdayTV, I'm Alfonso Castillo.
And you can read more about the tunnel repairs on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. As we get into the summer season, a lot of Long Islanders are going to be looking to get out on the water. But there are some changes to the boating rules this year and some safety tips you should know before you head out.
You have incidents out here all the time. It's a never-ending saga.
We met up with Mike Negri, an instructional captain with the Freedom Boat Club in Lindenhurst, to go over some boating basics.
We have a life cushion, that's your throwable device. We have a life jacket for everyone on board. This is our box with our flares, our registration, distress flag for an emergency.
The club's memberships allow you to use a boat without having to purchase or maintain it yourself, giving more Long Islanders and beginner boaters the opportunity to enjoy the water that surrounds us. But this year, every New Yorker who drives a boat has to take a safety course, whether you've been boating for years or it's your first time. It's part of Brianna's Law, named after Brianna Leineck, an 11-year-old from St. James who was killed in a boating accident in 2005.
Speed has a lot to do with a lot of the incidents, I personally believe. Unlike a car, you just can't jam on brakes or pull over to the side.
Mike personally trains over 100 people a year, covering things like getting off and on carefully, connecting your kill switch, designating a lookout, and making sure everyone under 13 is wearing a life jacket. Plus, navigating through the buoys and sandbars, which constantly change with the season.
Tides, currents, we teach them about weather. We teach them a little bit about navigational safety, following what are called the rules of the road, so to speak.
State data shows on average there were 23 recreational boating deaths a year between 2010 and 2023, caused by things like speed and drivers not paying attention to their surroundings. Mike says most boaters are on board with the additional training and want to keep our waterways safe. People caught driving who haven't taken the course face a fine up to $250. Now, this week is National Boating Safety Week, so it's a good time to make sure you have everything you need in your boat, on your jet ski before you head out. To see more exclusive stories like this one, again, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below that Newsday TV video box. And you can see more on all of these stories you've seen today on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and all of the other streaming services that you see there. I'm Macy Eglund. Thanks for watching Newsday TV. Have a great Monday.